All right, let's get after it. Presented by Bet365 in anticipation for Game 2 of the Battle of Ontario. The Toronto Maple Leafs hosting the Ottawa Senators. We're live here at Greta Bar, YYZ 590 King Street West. Nick Alberga and Zack Phillips. What's going on, buddy? How are you?
I'm pretty happy about this setup that we've got here. It actually looks like we're at Greta and not sitting with the purple backdrop that we had last time. But regardless, I'm happy to run it back. I've the same jeans, shoes,
oh, you're
shirt,
superstitious.
hat, underwear, and socks. But the thing is, though, the thing that I did well for myself before Game 1, I washed everything.
Okay.
So I washed
That's
it
important.
in the morning, wore it that night, and then they won, so I washed everything again today.
Fair enough. Come to think of it, yeah, it really had the brothel vibe last game. I don't know if you've been to a, not saying I've been to a brothel, but there have been some dark moments
how do you know?
in Europe where I may have entered and then just left. So just, checking it out.
Yeah.
Didn't know
Wrong
what
door.
it was. Wrong door, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's the vibe we had last game. But there's no vibe like this one as we get set for Game 2 of the Battle of Ontario. Greta Bar is going to be packed tonight. There's no doubt about that. But really looking forward. I've been obviously, did my show earlier today. A lot of the talking heads in Toronto, very interested to see how the Maple Leafs that come out here in Game 2 and really saying that maybe this is the true test if this Maple Leafs team is different. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, I mean, that was probably the most complete game we had seen. I saw you guys do the hot take this morning. Vic said that. I think it's been a conversation for a lot of people over the last couple of days that, that was exactly what you were looking for every single element. The goaltending, the defense, you didn't allow too much to the inside. Your special teams was really good. Every single box is checked, including the core, showing up, getting on the board, taking over that game. But the other side of it is how the Sens showed up in that first game. Now, I think that, to use the phrase again, learning lessons, I feel like the Sens are going to have learned lessons from that. So they're going to come out differently tonight. It's not going to be the same experience for you if you're Toronto, I don't think. I'm eager to find out how it is that they're going to respond because I do agree with you. This here tonight, going up 2-0, taking control of this game, watching the Sens change how they play and they approach this, and you being able to handle it, that's going to tell me a whole lot more, even beyond what we just saw in Game 1.
By the way, I do have Zach monitoring the chat, so if you want to get your super chats in, of course, in support of Sick Kids, phenomenal stuff all season long. Get those in at the Leafs Nation 401. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as we get set for Game 2 here, the Battle of Ontario. But I tend to agree. 1 to horny. How horny do you think the Ottawa Senators will be to start this game tonight?
Yeah.
Horny is the answer. I think weathering the storm is going to be a big theme, Zach, for Game 2 tonight. Would you tend to agree with that?
Yeah, but I mean, I'll be honest. I would rather they don't weather the storm tonight. I would rather you bring your own fucking
Take
storm.
it to them.
All we've ever seen of these guys is get through the beginning, get through that first bit, find a way to figure yourselves into the game. Fuck that. You're going to come out here tonight on home ice. You set the tone in Game 1. You came out swinging. You took control of the game, whether it was on the special teams or this 5-on-5 battle that people want to go nuts about. Oh, look at the shots were. Oh, you still got your shit pumped. Like, if you're Ottawa, you got your shit pumped there that night. You did some dumb stuff, and a lot of it was because the Leafs just played Maple Leafs hockey. Like, they came out and they said, this is the way we're going to play tonight. We're going to bring it to you, see if you can figure it out. If they sit back on their heels tonight, I think Ottawa has a way better chance at jumping out to an early lead, taking control of this game themselves. Like, don't play weathering this storm. Like, I get what you're saying, and in a lot of ways you are right about weathering this storm, because they're going to come out fucking guns a-blazing after the first game in a different way, but fuck that. Like, bring it to them. Open this game. That's another sign of you. Is this a different team?
Yeah.
You know who doesn't open a game weathering the storm?
Who?
The Boston Bruins of years past. The Tampa Bay Lightning, the Florida Panthers. I watched Dallas and Colorado, and it's not like one of them sitting back, like letting the other one punch them. The other one's coming out swinging. Like, they're just both throwing bombs. Go out there and throw bombs at the Senators. Like, don't wait for the game to come to you here.
Not to poo-poo you, but you were Sammy's shot chart after that game where you started, I don't know, the game ended, you were throwing graphics my way, like, look at this, look at that, look what the numbers are telling me. But, yeah, I tend to agree with you. I think if you're the Maple Leafs, you have to be authoritative. And that preparation was a big word I used after game one. They looked like a team ready for the Stanley Cup playoffs, and I won't lie, Ottawa looked like a scared team. They looked like a nervous team, hadn't been in the moment, and I want that to continue in this game. Take the play, take the pace to the Ottawa Senators. Important to stress, too, a lot of conversation about Linus Ullmark the last couple of days. He's made 10 postseason starts. He's had 4 or more in 6 of those appearances. Get on him early, man. Make it tough for him.
Yeah, and we saw the Leafs handle top-tier goaltending in Andrei Vasilevsky a couple of years ago. They got off to the good start. You find a way to get past them, put up a bunch of goals in a game, and all of a sudden it's like maybe in your head you're like, hey, we can do this. You just absolutely buried Linus Ullmark. He's an elite goalie. Like, we're going to give him the flowers that he deserves, but you just buried him. There's no reason that you should have any fears in your mind that you're going to get goalied here in this type of game. Like, you have an answer to the guy. You can solve the guy. You did see a few different times attacking the glove side, attacking like posts. Like, felt like it was a struggle for him to get out to that, out to the post and things like that as well. Just come out. If you bring it to him, if you put on enough pressure, if you create chances that are as dangerous as the ones that you did in game one, you're going to have success. Maybe you don't put up 6 here tonight, but like you said about Stolarz, if your goalie surrenders 2, you're going to win more often than not. If you put up the chances that you did and you bring that to Linus Ullmark, maybe you put up 3, but your goalie on the other side is being good enough. Maybe he's going to at least hold you in it, where that's all you need. Again,
don't play tentative, right? If you're the Toronto Maple Leafs, like, that's, I don't want to call it a concern, but certainly all the focus from the Ottawa perspective has been the officiating. If you're Toronto, just continue to do your thing, let the refs handle it, and go from there and really take it to the Ottawa Senators. We think there could be some lineup changes. Again, the two teams have not hit the ice for the pregame skate just yet, but there's, I think, a really good shot, at least Nick Cousins coming into this series, and he's a shift disturber, although I can say shit disturber on this show, so there's no problem and no qualms with that at the Leafs Nation 401. Again, just to reset, Nick Alberga and Zack Phillips live on location here at Greta Bar YYZ as we look forward to Game 2 here at the Battle of Ontario. The Maple Leafs up 1-0 in this series, but just don't play tentative. Play your game, and I think the Maple Leafs walk away with the win tonight.
Yeah, one thing that's interesting with the lineup changes, potential, that is, for Ottawa here is, like, I mean, I see these guys online. They're all talking about, oh, yeah, Matthew Nice is talking about Ridley Gregg is annoying. You're going to play hard on him. And they're like, yeah, that's what he wants. Like, well, here, the guy's potentially out of the lineup. But Nick Cousins is going to come in. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just being too hard on it, and maybe I'm taking a real Leaf bias with an approach on this one. But, like, what was the problem that they had in game one? It wasn't physicality or intensity. It was that they were outclassed and outmatured by the Toronto Maple Leafs. You know, they came out swinging. They did stupid shit. They sent themselves to the penalty box. If you're the Maple Leafs and you're looking at Nick Cousins coming into this lineup, I would literally just, if I'm Craig Berube, I'm in that room and I'm saying to the guys, hey, you know what we did last game? Let's do the same thing. You know that maturity and even-keeledness and poise that you carried into that game? Let's just do the same thing, because Nick Cousins is going to do the same shit, maybe to another level. If you just look him in the eyes and do what you did and don't react, you're good. Like, you're fine. So, like, I mean, I wouldn't really be worrying about it too much. I understand he's a pest. I understand it's going to be annoying if that guy like that gets in here, but you handled it pretty fine the first game. You got out of it. You got plenty of power play opportunities. You capitalized. I would be just saying to those guys in the room, you run back the same script. You do the same thing that you just did last time. You're going to be fine.
Definitely. And I think another evolving story, and you talk about the horniness factor. We talk about being here at Greta Bar. I'm always horny for the nachos here. They're phenomenal. So if you had a chance to be down here, get those nachos in your system. But Austin Matthews, this screams signature Austin Matthews game, Zach, where it's like if you want to evolve and sort of in Toronto and put this team on your shoulders, you come out there with a big, strong game, and you will your team to a Game 2 victory. Can you believe in the Austin Matthews era, they've never led a series 2-0? I could not believe that when I heard that.
Really? I actually didn't know that.
Wild shit, man. Anyways.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. So you're thinking into how many series did they lose game 1? How many series do you lose game 1? And then, okay, you win game 1, and then you're not really taking big leads. I guess you're splitting. Fuck, I didn't.
Isn't that
really
crazy, though? Like and full disclosure, dude. I heard this on
You're
Overdrive,
9.
and they're always my source of information. I love that show. Those guys do a great job. Don't go to that show right now. Watch us instead. But when you think about it, they've never been up 2-0 in a series. So
yeah, look, this is an opportunity here again. Make a statement. Who are you? What kind of a team you are? How prepared are you? You take a lead here tonight, 2-0. You go back to Ottawa. You know the other thing, I mean, those Sens fans are running around with like chickens with their heads cut off trying to figure out how to keep Leafs fans out of the building. It's inevitable. They're going to get in there. They're going to pack that place, and they're going to be fucking way louder than you are because you guys are all, there's about 46 of you that are going to be in that building standing up cheering. So if they go up 2-0 into this series, you carry that momentum. You're able to control the game even similar to how you did in Game 1. You go out to Ottawa for Game 3 where those Sens fans are having nightmares, about what the series is at if they're down 2-0. There's going to be a bit of a nervous energy, and then it's packed with Leafs fans. Fuck, this thing is in your control if you do that. Like, take control of that here tonight. Take this opportunity to start to push.
Hey, you got me fired up. I want to run through a brick wall right in front of us here. By the way, you still have your chance to get down here at Greta Bar YYZ here on King Street West, 590 King Street West. For your opportunity to watch the game with us. Have a little fun with us. I guess I won't be here. I'm headed down to the game in a couple minutes.
Leaving.
I'm going to get subbed in mid-broadcast, but the chance to watch the game with the boys, always fun. So get down here, 590 King Street West. But I was going to ask you, too, like moving forward, what's the biggest, most important thing you can grab from the Maple Leafs perspective from Game 1 that you want to associate here with Game 2? For me, it's the power play. I'll be honest. Like going 3 for 6, I thought it was pivotal for the Maple Leafs to start hot in the power play, and they did go in 3 for 6.
I think that what I was going to say kind of probably ties in, so that makes sense because the other way that it was involved and was so successful was the big boys. Mm-hmm. And, like, that is what I want this to be. Like, I watched that Colorado game. I watched Edmonton last night chasing from behind against the LA Kings. Who is it that's on the board? McDavid, Draisaitl, they're the guys pushing. Every time I'm watching in overtime, Colorado, Dallas, every time Nathan McKinnon touches the puck, I'm like, holy fuck, this guy's going to score. I watched the Leafs here, and over the past few years, they don't feel that dangerous. In that first game, they felt dangerous. Every single one of them. Even Nyes. I mean, David Amber called them the Fantastic Five. He was right in there involved in that. But if those guys show up, you talk about the Matthews game. The other guy that I'm looking at is like a William Nylander. You know he's going to show up every single night in the playoffs. That's what he does. But then it's like Mitch Marner. How is he going to kind of follow through from what he did in Game 1? That's great, Mitch. You put up, what was it, 3 points that he had in the first game there. You have an unbelievable night. You score that breakaway goal, which alleviates a lot of stress from people in Toronto, the fan base, the team, himself. What happens if you don't do that in Game 2? What happens if you disappear? Conversation shifts back to, one off. You won 6-2. Like, that's what conversation I've had a lot. He gets a lot of points in some games where you put up a bunch of goals. Well, what happens here tonight if the game's 3-2, 3-1? How do you contribute? That's what I want to see him build off of Game 1. And the big boys, Matthews, Nylander, Nyes, continuing that as well here tonight.
To be honest, that's the kind of feel I get, that it's going to be a low-scoring type game where it's 2-1, 3-2. And let's be honest, the Leafs have been preparing for this opportunity to win a game that way here in the Stanley Cup playoffs, just in the way they've been playing. I know we had Thomas Caberlet on the show today on Leafs Morning Take, and he was discussing that he liked the way the Maple Leafs found a way to figure it out defensively under Craig Berube. But ultimately, when you're giving me your answer there, all I could think about was killer instinct and how big that conversation has been in, say, the last decade for this Maple Leafs team. I don't want to say you have the Sens on the ropes, but they're floundering a bit, man. They got dummied.
Yep.
They're division rivals on the road, 6-2, the big boys, the checklist, everything was hit by the Maple Leafs. Can you give them one of those knockout punches? And the killer instinct, I think, will be a big story for this Maple Leafs team to prove to me, at least, they're a tad different than previous iterations.
You want to talk about changing narratives too? The 2-0 stat, that's one there. Okay, yeah, sure, that's one we can talk about. But coming out of Game 1, the conversation about the officiating and the penalties and all that nonsense that we were hearing. Travis Green goes up there, and I like Travis Green. I think he's a really good coach. But the way he handled the post-game press conference was reminiscent of Sheldon Keefe with the Maple Leafs, where it was like, kind of, I don't know the right way to put it.
It wasn't like, we got to be better.
Yeah. They didn't
That's
accept
gamesmanship,
that.
man. You got to be careful, though. Like, I think these
it.
coaches, there's a method to the madness, what they're saying.
I get it. But how many times did we see them go in there and it was like, well, the officiating wasn't this way. And it's like, you know what? Like, fuck. You watch Craig. Yeah, right. And go in there and do that. And it was like I watched the way the Senators players answered questions and the way that they handled things. It felt like they were in this position that the Leafs of old have been in. If you're the Leafs, you've got the maturity. You showed that in Game 1 there. You're talking about learning these lessons. This is an opportunity here tonight. You come out level-headed. You know that they're going to be a little bit sporadic all over the place. Just don't worry about it. Like, show you're the mature team.
That's exactly it. And again, as expected, no lineup changes for the Maple Leafs. Anthony Stolarz, I won't lie, the bomb was sort of dropped after the show yesterday. I'm like, fuck, here we go again with this Maple Leafs crease. But then I love the transparency. We didn't see this last year. Dude, I still have PTSD from covering the first round last year against the Boston Bruins, where it was bomb after bomb after bomb from Nylander to Matthews. Then we Game 7, and it's fucking 5:30. The game's at 7. Yeah, Joe Wall's not playing. Your season's on the line with Ilya Samsonov. Good vibes with this team right now, man. That's a real big positive. Rosie and I talked about it on Leafs Morning Take today. It's a weird calmness. And Ottawa, weirdly for me, looks like the team that's nervous. The fan base, the media, just what they're saying all around. And the Leafs are not really talking. Like, I love, and again, don't read too much into it, but I love the fact that as soon as Game 1 was over, they're like, hey, it doesn't matter if we don't focus on Game 2. And I love that, man. Just less is more for me right now.
Yeah, I think that was what Jake McCabe said, right? Yeah. Like, this win means nothing if we don't come out and play it and win Game 2. And it's just a changed mindset. Like, I even talked about how they approached it at the end of the regular season, and it was like playoffs. And that's not what it's been in years past. There was distractions. There was talk about 70 goals, 100 points, Willie not scoring. Like, all these things had bubbled up and taken place, and it was the regular season, and those accolades were forefront. This Leafs team seems to be all business right now. I don't know, dude. I'm ready to fucking run through a wall. I feel good about this team. I just feel good about what we've seen. Even the shit with Stolarz, we saw that, and it was just like, no, he's fine. And then it was like, you know what? He's done this year. He's taken time off where he's just not practiced. Maybe not as nerve-wracking.
But Game 1 of the playoffs, and you can't practice the next day.
I don't think a lot of these guys
it depends on routine.
Who cares? He how many times did we see him where it's like Wall goes in the next time, so he's not out there anyways, or maybe he is out there the next day, but it's because Wall's playing in the next game. I don't know. It's just routine. I feel like he's fine. He said after the game immediately he felt really good, and at this point, based on at least some of that information and how things have come across, I do feel like I can at least trust them. I'm going to be an idiot proven wrong about this, but I do feel a little bit like that right now.
Yeah, take him at face value for sure. At the Leafs Nation 401, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and support us sick kids. We got our first super chat of the show, Zach. So you want to read that for us?
Yeah, Jeff McKay. Thank you, Jeff, for the super chat. Jeff says, if the Leafs can weather the storm in the beginning of this game, because Ottawa will come out hot, we have a great chance to win. We will see.
I like it.
Yeah. I mean, again, I don't really have too much else to add to that or change to that. It's really just for me, I understand they're going to come out like that. And I guess in a way, maybe it is you weathering the storm. But to me, I'm just punching back. It's not just stand there and make sure that you get out of it alive for 20 minutes. Like, fucking take your swings, take your looks at the Ottawa Senators here tonight, whether it's with offensive chances, if it's finishing with physicality, but just don't spend the whole thing in your own zone. Don't do that. Don't be on your heels. Take it to them. You can. You have the ability. You showed it in Game 1.
And I thought a big component of Game 1, too, was the bottom six, namely the Scott Laughton line. And again, number your lines if you want. Scott Laughton, I think, played just a shade under 16 minutes in that game, but I thought they were really, really effective in establishing a tone for that game. I know we've had a lot of conversations about Calle Jarnkrok. I thought he had a really good game. You can't forget he hit the post in the first period, too.
Yep.
Steven Lorentz brought it. They were much more noticeable, I would say, than the third line, and I think that's a big story in this game. The Max Domi line, Bob McMahon's a guy certainly I'm looking at from a betting perspective tonight.
Yeah.
Like he is the type of player you need to put you over the top in a series, and I would probably look at Bob McMahon tonight, but that line in general with Max Domi and company.
Yeah, and the depth was going to be important as you go on throughout the playoffs here as well. Like, that's especially going to be a thing, but I think that the way that they showed up, like, that's my argument with people, and I always get in this battle, is like, wow, look at the way that the bottom six play. Like, they don't score goals. It's like, well, fuck. Like, there's a reason that guy makes $1.5 million. And with all due respect to the guy, if he scored 30 goals a year, he would not be making that money and playing in the bottom six. Like, he wouldn't. He would be somewhere else, and he'd be playing top six roles. So sometimes you got to temper expectations, but what can they do? How can they impact a game? A lot of times in the past, it's felt like the depth of this team, the bottom six of this team, just finds ways to get out of it, survive, go toe-to-toe. You know what? They don't really do anything, but they don't let much happen against them. The bottom six there in that first game, especially that Laughton line, like, I thought that they were so noticeable in the first period, setting a tone, establishing a pace. How many times did you watch them go out there, set up a cycle game, spend time down below the goal line, making sure anytime the puck went into the corner, they're winning a forecheck, winning battles, making their presence felt physically, and then, you know what Berube does after? First line out there, second line out there. And now all of a sudden Ottawa's sitting there going, what the fuck? Yeah. We just spent 45 seconds defending Steven Lorentz
That's true.
in the cycle game in our corner, and now we have to face William Nylander because fucking, I don't know, Mountain Paulo fired the puck down the ice to get it out of trouble. Like, that's what you need. That's how you impact a game in the playoffs. I don't give a fuck if Scott Laughton does not score one single goal this entire playoffs. If he does that, if he impacts games like that, that's a success. Like, that is what you need those guys to do.
Well, and it goes a far way when you get the depth scoring. You get 2 goals from the blue line as well. When you look at OEL, friend of the show, scoring, kicking off the series with a goal. You get Morgan Riley. I mean, I know he had a rough night, but he scores that big-time goal. It's like
this guy calling him the pizza boy.
Yeah, I know. It's come on, guys. It's playoff Mo. Playoff Mo is what we're going with right now. But certainly when you look at that bottom six in general, I think it was a crucial story.
Yeah.
Just that need for those guys to really elevate, step in, do their thing. Again, the physical toll speaks for itself, but to get a couple goals here and there, it was Scott Laughton who sets up that play as well. So
yeah, it was. It was just a smart veteran play there too by him. OEL, who was one of the best players on Florida last year, like that's one of the things that Tree Living has done such a good job of. You know, if OEL came here and he was a top 4 defenseman, he would be fine. Like, he's probably replacement level in your second pair, and that's a good thing for him. He's a good player, but he goes to the bottoms pairing and he plays on the 5-6. Fuck, man, he's
probably
good
the best 5 in the league, something like that, right?
And Tree Living has built this out like that to allow these waves to come at you, and to have them step up, to have OEL open the scoring, and D getting on the board, and Morgan Riley getting that monkey off of his back, like, those are things, if you're in that room, you start to feel good about it. If you're Morgan Riley, Ekman Larson, you feel good about yourselves coming out of a game like that. Like, just having people involved there, it feels like that gives you a breather coming out of game 1. And, I mean, I don't know. Look, I kind of expect... I think Mo probably deservingly got some of the titles coming out of game 1, given some of the plays we saw him make that Vic was giving it to him for.
Yeah, Vic was hard on Stoli and hard on Morgan Riley in game 1. Vic wants every game to be 7-0.
I mean, so do I. Honestly, I give it to him. Like, why not?
Why not? Why not us? Yeah.
but you know, I do kind of feel like that's one of those ones where for Mo, that was a big goal. It was a 2-goal game. It was early into the third period. You open up kind of like shit there, and bang, he scores that goal and makes it 3 again. It feels like something that provides to the team, to the city, gets people off of his back. And if he, like, you forget about a lot of those plays that he made and mistakes that happened, and you remember that goal that was scored. And that just is a positive for him where maybe he can carry that forward into today's game. Like, I don't know. That's also another guy I'm kind of looking at. I don't know if he doubles down and goes back-to-back goals, but, like,
That'd be sick.
Being involved in the offense, jumping in the play, not being afraid to be in the rush or make a pinch, like, that's kind of what I feel like he could be doing here as the series goes on and making an impact.
Again, business is picking up here at Greta Bar YYZ as we get set for Game 2 of the Battle of Ontario. The Toronto Maple Leafs hosting the Ottawa Senators. We're going to do the most awkward handoff of all time because I got to head down to the game. Is producer Vic coming on? Like,
Does he
is
want
that
to
what's
come
going
on?
on here? Is just like the Zack Phillips show here for half
What
an
else
hour.
do we got? You want to join me? Yeah, you want to join me? Sure, why
Yeah,
not?
let's do that.
We don't
What?
got anything else to do.
We're
Get
going to
over
run
here.
solo, just Zack?
Yeah,
running
no,
solo?
like, that's nuts. So it's just going to be me chewing people's ear off for like 20 more minutes about
we
this
like
one.
that.
Yeah,
Anyways,
that's what the
final
postgame
words.
is.
Austin Matthews anytime goal I'm looking at tonight. Bob McMahon shot prop.
Wait, let's just do that. Like,
Okay.
let's go to
ahead.
Bet365. We might as well. He's over there. We can do the animations.
Okay,
You're
fair
here
enough.
for it.
Yeah.
You're here for it. Do you have the read? This is the least
don't even have the
professional
read.
thing that
Yeah,
I've
I don't have the
possibly
read either.
I've possibly done
Our
here at this
mistake.
point. That's on me. I'll just pull that up really quickly and we'll get into
At
this.
the Leafs Nation. Well, let me pause for you. I'm a professional. At the Leafs Nation 401, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Should mention as well, make sure to tune in to Leafs Morning Take. Coming up tomorrow, the band of former Pat Quinn era Maple Leafs continues. Alan McCauley is going to drop by the show tomorrow. Current AGM of the Philadelphia Flyers. So, yes, we'll ask about Scott Lawton tomorrow.
I saw that. What a bucky that guy's got.
Oh, that mission Bucky is that's a tough time. That's almost Callie Johansson level. Remember that fucking Jofa? Holy shit. Anyways, go ahead with your read.
All right, here we go. The best bet segment is presented by Bet365. Want to get in on the action for Stanley Cup playoffs at Bet365? They got you. From game props, player props, totals, and the money line. You can even bet on futures like series winners, conference champions, the Stanley Cup champions, and much more. Whatever your bet it is, it's never ordinary at Bet365. Download the app and get in on the game. An official partner of the Stanley Cup playoffs. Must be 19 or older. Ontario only. Please play responsibly. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, visit connectsontario.ca. Nick, I'll let you go after this here.
I just gave my picks. I'll give them again because it's official now at Bet365. We love you guys, and I love my background at home. Great set. Love Greta as well. Matthews, ATG. And Bob McMahon over 2.5 shots on goal. I'd even play the ATG for Bob McMahon, and the Maple Leafs win this game in regulation. Mark my words. I'm headed down to Scotiabank Arena. Peace out.
All right, Nick. Thank you. Appreciate it. Enjoy the game. I don't know. Do you have to get stuff from behind me here?
Yeah.
Here, I'll slide
I'll be
over.
fine, I'll be fine.
I'll slide over so Vic can get in here. As we'll get Vic set up on this. I might as well give out my best, as I'm talking to both mics at once. Might as well give out my best bet here as well, Vic. I'm going to be going with the William Nylander anytime goal plus 180 on this one. We cashed the Mitch Marner anytime goal plus 225 last game. I felt pretty good about that one going in. You know, like it was a big number. Mitchie's probably usually around plus 200 in an Ottawa game. I've seen him like plus 190 a few different times there. So I felt comfortable about where the number was at. This Willie number, I don't know, man. Like I see him at plus 160 here on Bet365 tonight.
I was not expecting that. There's a start to the show for me. Off camera here, our boss, our best friend, Amal Delich, doing some smelling salts that Zach left on the table. And I don't know if he knew what he was getting into.
I was looking
Hot
at my
start,
screen
hot
and
start.
I saw him the Nylander plus 160 is best bet. Look, this is a guy who at the end of the year when he was scoring at the rate he was into like the plus 125s, 130, 135 for some of these games, especially like these Ottawa games. I can't really give much more justification on it than that. Like William Nylander, anytime goal here tonight, he's a playoff guy. This is what he does.
Yeah.
Like that's where I'm going to get on
He's
this
also
one.
a regular season guy, Zach. He was second in the league in goals, 45 goals, plus
That's true.
160. That's a good number to get him at.
That's true.
I also like, honestly, I don't know what the number is, Zach. I don't know if you could pull it up for me here.
What do you
but
want?
I like Mitch Marner to score again.
Yeah, double down here.
That guy is absolutely on fire, and I've been saying it since Four Nations, and a lot of the chat has been getting
Plus
on
200.
me. Plus 200, Mitch
Yeah.
Marner, anytime goal. I kind of like that as well.
Yeah.
I mean, he's slowly maturing and becoming that big game player that we thought he was supposed to be.
Big game Mitch.
Big game Mitch, man.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you saw it last game, but he looked good. 60 minutes, 200 feet.
Yep.
All
Agreed.
game, all night. I think he was underappreciated a little bit because we scored 6 goals. Everybody got involved in the action. Lawton got a lot of praise.
Yeah.
OEL got a lot of praise.
It took us a long time to talk about him in the post-game show, and it
That's right.
wasn't even intentional. It wasn't like, oh, we don't want to talk about this guy. It was just there was so much other shit going on.
Honestly, and how big was that goal?
Massive.
1-0 game.
Breakaway.
And on top of it, Ottawa was pressing at the time,
Yeah.
too. Ottawa had the puck in that Leaf zone, and they were cycling and moving.
Yeah.
Austin made the play to break it up, sure.
Yeah.
But that kind of put a stamp and got everybody going again.
Yeah.
Right? And it got everybody's feet moving. Everybody's like, okay, we can exhale here. We got a little bit of a cushion here. And I think that's when Ottawa kind of started to break a little bit as well.
Yeah, and the other thing too was the crowd, which by all accounts for anybody who was there, has said that crowd in game 1 was actually pretty fired up. Like they sounded pretty electric. Obviously, we're here in Greta, so the crowd at Greta was pretty electric here, but that's not going to impact what happens on the game. What we're hearing through the speakers, you can hear the Allmark chants, the Brady sucks chants. Like you hear them getting on it. Well, one thing that's always been talked about with these guys is, does the team give the fans something to build off of and something to cheer about? Do they get them involved in the game? That Mitch goal put them over the top. They were already ready to go. OEL gets the initial pop on the first goal. If that one doesn't go in, it's still a little bit like, we're up by 1. As you said, Ottawa's pressing. That alleviates so much pressure. It's Mitch. It's a big moment. It's the breakaway. Like, at that point, if you're in that crowd, essentially you're looking around going, fuck Linus Ullmark. Like, we got this guy. You know what I mean? Like, it's just that level of, like, comfort where you're like, hey, we can score on this guy. We can do this. We can fucking take it to the Ottawa Senators. I thought he was really good. So you know what? I'll tell you on that. Mitch Marner anytime. Plus 200.
And Nick asked you earlier if there's one thing that you'd want to bring over from game 1, and and you guys mentioned the power play.
Yeah.
For me, it's the fans. Bring that energy again.
Yeah.
There was zero nervous energy in the building. There was zero nervous energy here.
That's
at
a good point.
I was not nervous for 1 second.
Yep.
We took it to him from the opening. Scott Lawton, Steven Lorentz, my Passion Bros. If they bring that again,
Passion Boys, yeah.
The Passion Bros and the fans, bring it again. If you're at Scotiabank Arena, if you're at Maple Leaf Square, if you're here with Zach and I at Greta Bar, bring that same level of passion, because I feel like through 9 friggin' playoff years, we've had that nervous energy, and it's hard to wake up for those games. Everybody squeezes their sticks a little bit, and if you could get the pressure off and give your boys that extra little bit of juice, that's it. They're going to be weathering our storm, like so many people in the chat have said today.
Yeah, weathering the storm seems to be a big thing, and again, I'm going to remain strong on it. I think that's part of it. It's not wilting under that pressure, but it's finding a way. If you're that mature team, like we believe that you are, you're that experienced team, you've learned your lessons, you're going to come out tonight, and you're not just going to sit on your heels and say, don't score on us. You're going to find ways to bring the game to them. So it'll be interesting here tonight for sure. Vic, I want to get to some what they normally do on TV and the broadcast, where Nick was giving me shit when we were in Nashville, talking about like, oh, what are we doing? We're not a TV broadcast for my segments.
All right.
I actually want to know, like, keys to the game for you here tonight. If you're going to break down, what are some of the most important things for this Leafs team to accomplish, to have happen? What are those things? And I mean, I don't know if you're ready with them. I just threw this on you on the spot, but I can kind of start with one at least. Maybe we give a couple, but the first one for me is being ready off the opening puck drop. And I know it's self-explanatory. Like, you should be. You're professional hockey players. But time and time again, we've seen these guys struggle off the opening puck drop and not being ready. And the first 45 seconds, 1 minute is in your zone. You avoid that here tonight, I think a lot of people in the crowd, wherever it's going to be, on the bench, are going to start to feel more comfortable with this one. If you start the opening shift in their end, forechecking hard, I think it alleviates a lot of pressure. So that first 60 seconds is massive for me. Do not spend it in your own zone. Be ready to go from the opening puck drop and put as much pressure on them as you can.
Start on time. Start on time.
Yeah.
It's been the motto since Mike Babcock was here. Start on time. We rarely see it.
Yep.
And they did it in game 1, so let's bring it over here. And as we were talking, because I didn't know what I was going to say,
yeah,
but I figured out my key to the game is, and I don't want to say it because I've seen so much of it on Twitter since game 1, is the officiating.
Yeah.
How will this game be reffed? If the refs are as hungry to call penalties as they were in game 1, that helps the Leafs.
Yeah.
Because we're the more poised team, and we showed that in game 1.
Maturity.
If they're more lenient, I think that leans more into the Ottawa Senators style of play.
Yeah.
I think they're a little more pissed off right now. However, I am also concerned with Ottawa's ability to adjust. I wonder if they take their foot off the gas a little bit because they got so many penalty calls last game. I wonder if they're a little more tentative. I wonder if they got their sticks down, and I wonder if the Leafs can take advantage of a little more passive Ottawa Senators team.
Yeah, that will be interesting to see how they come out, because it's either going to be that, where they take that step back, or they come out guns a-blazing,
harder, right?
and then the refs are like, no, and then you see them, as long as the Leafs don't engage in it, I think it'll go in their favor.
Yeah, so it's going to be pretty interesting to see, because I think we'll find out pretty quickly.
Yeah.
If you start seeing some penalty calls early in the first period, I think that plays right into the hands of the Maple Leafs, because I think that's when Ottawa starts taking their foot off the gas.
Yeah.
You're not worried about getting any sticks or checks or cross checks, trips, anything like that. It's going to open up space for Matthews. It's going to open up space for Willie on the second line. And I don't know. How do you think it's going to go? Because they've made a lot of noise. I wonder if that plays into the hands of the Senators a little bit, because we talked about gamesmanship earlier with Nick as well.
But the thing is that they did make a lot of noise. My pushback on it again is, I don't think that this was like lopsided officiating.
No.
I just
agree
think that
with
they
you
did
100%.
stupid shit. And so I think if the Leafs approach it the same way, have the same mindset, the same mentality, they're going to be fine. Yeah, you're probably going to get penalties, and maybe they'll throw you one or two more. But if the Sens are going to do the same thing that they just did, if they're going to do that same thing as they were in game 1, no matter what these fucking whiny Sens fans want to say online, the reality is you did some stupid shit, you lost your composure, and the Maple Leafs didn't. And I think that that's one of those things where in the eyes of the officials, as you watch that unfold, you're seeing one team not go way up and down with the emotion, and you're having the other team like yell and scream at you and lose their minds in some of those. And it's like, wow, this does feel lopsided, which maybe then starts to sway them. Just keep that same approach, keep that same mentality. You played physical, you played up to the line, you engaged in the scrums, but you didn't do dumb shit. Keep that again here tonight. No matter how much Ottawa tries to drag you in, just stay even-keeled. And I think no matter what happens with the officials, you're going to be fine.
Yeah, and that's the key right there, is keep that composure.
Yeah.
Because if that Gaudette cross-check to Matthews doesn't get called, you got to play through it. You cannot sit there and ask for calls.
Yeah.
The Stützle hit on Tanev, I thought that was a little bit...
Yeah,
I don't know if that's a playoff call,
yep.
but the borderline stuff we got the calls for.
Yep.
If in game 2 you don't get those calls, you cannot break. You got to play through it. You've been here before. You've learned this lesson. You didn't get the borderline shit against the Bruins 10 years ago. You didn't get the borderline shit against the Panthers a few years ago.
Yeah.
Sam Bennett took out Matthew Nyes a couple years ago. We didn't get a friggin' penalty called on that. You play through it. You have the better team. You have the better decor. And I'm going to say it, you have the better goalie. So just go out there and play your game, and everything should work itself out.
Okay, I'll ask you this before I give you some of the lineups because there are changes here for Ottawa. So first thing would be you talk about the goalie, the better goalie. We've talked enough about Allmark. The boys talked about it on the morning show. Yep. I don't want to talk about that. I listened to your show that you produced, Morning Cup of Hockey, Colby Cohen, Laz. They were talking about Anthony Stolarz, and I agreed with Colby 100% yesterday and kind of carried over to today that I don't think Stolarz actually played that great. I mean, there was a lot of uncomfortable stuff where he was fighting the puck a little bit, giving out some rebounds. The thing that kind of helps and how I felt comfortable with him was that he wasn't chasing the game the way that we've seen Samsonov, where he's behind on plays and swimming around and stuff. Regardless, he never really seems to get into that. What are you expecting out of him here tonight? Because I think he knows he should be better in that one, even though he allowed only 2 goals. Like, I think he knows. I think he gets it. How do you expect Anthony Stolarz to show up here tonight?
Yeah. I want to say that, again, Nick loves throwing me under the bus and then reversing and running over me again.
Yeah, I know. I was messing with you when we did the post game. Yeah. It wasn't as bad as it was made out to seem.
I did not say that he had a bad game.
I know.
I said that he had a bad game for him.
Yeah.
We've seen him play better. You and I have seen it. We saw it down the stretch, 8-0 to end the season. He's been unbelievable. And the one thing that I did love was his positioning.
Yeah.
He was always there. The thing was that he wasn't catching the puck and he wasn't freezing the pucks that he's normally stopping and freezing. He wasn't killing cycles.
Yeah.
And that's what you want to see from your goaltender. You want him to catch the point shot, because the Leafs, as you and I talked about last game 1 after dark, we talked about how well the defense was boxing out. There was very little traffic. The guy's 6'9" or whatever the hell he is. The guy's a monster.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's tough to get traffic.
Walking into the ring today, they got caught on video.
Yeah.
I'm just like watching this guy in his burgundy suit walking down the street.
Just a monster. And it's tough to get traffic in front of him anyway. So he's seeing the pucks.
Yeah.
And the stuff he's normally catching and smothering up, and you get a D-zone draw, and you get the line change, you change the decor. He wasn't doing that as often as we'd like to see.
Yeah.
Again, the box outs were there. We talked about the 6 guys in the lineup, Benoit, Ekman Larson. I don't know where the weak link is. Like, everybody's there. Everybody's doing their box out thing.
Yeah.
But he knows that he has to be better, and I think he will be.
Okay, so Ottawa Senators lines for tonight did come out here. You're going to get Tkachuk, Stützle, and Giroux on the first line. Perron, Cousins, and Batherson, Dylan Cousins, that is, as the second line. Ridley, Gregg, Pinto, Amadio as the third. Nick Cousins, Gaudette, Zetterlund as your fourth line. So the big change there is Cousins in the lineup. That would be Matthew Highmore, I believe. I think that's his first name. I think I say that wrong every time, but
that's what happens when you score on your own net. When Morgan Riley shoots a muffin from the point and you put your hand in there and it goes top shelf on your goalie, you sit the next one.
That's the change that you're going to see tonight for the Senators. Any concern for you with Nick Cousins coming in this lineup?
It's the same shit with Brady Tkachuk, but on a way, way, way lesser of a scale.
Yeah.
He's going to try to get in your head. He does the accidentally on purpose bullshit a lot.
Yeah.
He'll fall into the goalie and then look around and look for, like, oh, what happened? Oh, he did that or this and that. Don't fall into that bullshit trap. I think the Leafs have too much of a veteran team to fall into any of that bullshit.
Yep.
Lorentz knows him well. He played with him last 2 years ago, was it?
Yeah, that's right.
He was a Florida Panther, correct?
Yeah. When was it?
I don't know. A couple
year,
years
maybe?
ago.
2 years ago?
Lotz also played with him. I know Rosie played with him. Rosie knows him well.
Yeah.
All these guys know what that guy's going to bring. Don't fall into that. He's a weasel. He doesn't play. Don't be afraid of him offensively or in your D zone. Yeah. When he's on the ice, take advantage and fucking make him work in his own end, because he's not good at anything.
Sportsnet Stats tweeted this out. Maple Leafs have not, this is an hour ago, Maple Leafs have not won consecutive home games in a playoff series since the 2004 East semis versus the Flyers. Demons here to be exercised.
I hate those stats.
It's a different team, dude. Fuck that.
No, I get it. I get it. But, like, we had the similar team last year. We
I
had
know.
a similar team in years past. Like, Jesus Christ.
I
Couldn't
know.
put 2 home wins. You know what? A lot of that, I think, comes back to that same nervous energy. These guys have ghosts fucking coming out of every closet, every hole.
Yeah.
You go outside, there's Leaf fans chirping you because you lost or you gave the puck away last night. Like, whatever. I think they bury some fucking demons tonight, man. I haven't felt this good about a Leaf team in a long, long time.
All right, let's get you out of here on this, and we'll wrap things up. Actually, we should probably do smelling salts before we wrap this up,
All right.
because I think we had like.
Can we get Almo to do them as well?
Just be careful with those. They're real. That's
Okay,
all right.
we'll
grab
do
that one
we'll
after.
do this one. All right.
All right, never mind. We got both.
Which
All
one's
right.
mine?
Doesn't matter. They're
Well,
both
mine's
brand new.
Oh, okay.
These ones are both brand new.
All right.
All right.
Wait,
keep them far
Hold
away
on.
from your face.
Okay, yeah, we got a nice
69.
number of likes
Nice.
right now.
Yeah.
Nice number of
Also, I
likes.
saw in the chat there earlier, we had a new subscriber. It was Rose E. Rose E.
Oh.
Yeah. Which hopefully Rosie will be on the show later tonight. But if you haven't already, Leafs Nation 401 right here on YouTube. Make sure to hit that like button. Subscribe here to the channel. We will be back here following tonight's game live at Greta Bar YYZ. Downtown Toronto on King Street West. Make sure to come by if you want to watch the game here. You still got about, there's going to be more than 13 minutes. It's 7:17. Supposed to be 7:30. We know that's not happening, so you still got time to get down here.
Can I just stop you right here?
I can smell them.
I
already.
love one anthem. I'm so happy it's the Battle of Ontario.
I know. It's so nice.
Oh.
All right.
All right.
Cheers. Keep them
Cheers,
far
buddy.
away from face. I'm dead serious.
Okay.
There you go. There's the smelling salts.
Oh my God. Woo!
Oh my God.
Oh my God, that was a rookie move. I went right in there.
I told you,
my
keep it far.
God.
If you're not ready for it, it'll hit you.
Oh.
Make sure to hit that like button, subscribe here to the channel.
I thought you were faking this whole time.
No, dude. All right.
Dude.
Last thing I'll get you to
You
do.
gotta get Nick to do this shit. He's been sick for like 6 years.
Yeah, it'll be,
Oh,
it'll be
man.
cleared.
Yeah, I'll clear that out in 1 second. What is that?
All right, Vic, before we
flying
get you to
over here.
leave and go back to the booth so that we can have somebody to click the buttons to close this thing. Last thing I'll ask you, prediction for tonight's game. Fuck it.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, guys. It's going to be a butt clencher, but 2-1 Maple Leafs.
Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to stick on that one. I keep saying 3-2, like, kind of vibe. I kind of feel like that's where we might be. Maybe it's 3-1 with a late one, or maybe it's 2-2 and the Leafs get a late one. But either way, it's 3-2 Maple Leafs is my prediction. It's going to be tight. It's
I
going to
think
be
Stoley's going to be good
it's
tonight.
going to be a battle.
I think
he's gonna be
Allmark's
good.
going to be good tonight, too. I think it's going to take a little bit more of that traffic.
Yeah.
That Matthew Nyes type of goal that we saw in Game 1. I think that's what it's going to take. I don't think he'll be as bad as he was in Game 1.
You
and
see
I don't
there.
think the Leafs get as many clean looks as they did in Game 1 either.
Yeah, that's true. Your eyes are watering and you're
man.
battling.
I can feel that in the back of my head. Holy
yeah, it
shit.
tinkles, a little bit.
Oh, my
yeah.
God.
We got
I'm ready.
XO
Let's go.
4-3 Leafs.
Goalies, go!
5-1 Leafs, 4-2 Leafs, 6-1 Leafs. People are confident, pumped up
Fuck
about
me.
this one. Vic, thank you. Appreciate it. We'll see Vic back here for the post-game show. There you go. Thank you, everyone who tuned in here. No, the game will not be broadcast on this channel for the pregame. We appreciate you all, though, for watching, for tuning in here. As I'm kind of getting towards the end, I think we got to everything here, Vic. We got the Bet365. We got our best bet. Nick has Bobby McMahon over 2.5 shots on goal. I've got. He's also got Austin Matthews anytime goal. I like a William Nylander anytime goal. Vic, you had Mitch Marner anytime goal, so I'll tail on that one as well. I think a lot of people tonight were looking at unders in this one. I'm pretty sure it was at 5.5 the last I saw on Bet365. Rosie, I think, actually might have given out the under on the morning show there. So feels like we're getting into a tight one. I don't know, man. If we get everything we were talking about with the bets, and then we get the 3-2, you could have Willie, Mitch, and Matthews on the board here tonight. If that happens, I think you walk away from this one extremely happy. We did cash the Mitch Marner anytime goal in Game 1. That is all for tonight's pregame show. Thank you all for watching. Thank you to our friends here at Greta Bar YYZ as it is filling up here. We got the big screen coming down. Johnny T's big head up there right now. But thank you all for watching. Get on over to Greta Bar if you can. Last thing I got to say, you know what? Thank you to Greta for having us. We appreciate the hospitality. The city of Toronto has been gracious to our friends that coming in hot from the Sens podcast. But disrespectfully. Normally people say respectfully. Disrespectfully. Fuck the Sens. Let's
Fuck
win
the
this game
Sens.
tonight. Fuck the Sens, as Vic says there from the side. Let's just steamroll these fucks. I don't give a shit about my prediction, about Vic's prediction, none of that. Win this game 6-0, 7-0 if you have to. Let's throttle the Sens here tonight. Leafs in 4. Fuck the Sens. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you back here for Leaf Station After Dark. Until then, enjoy the game and keep believing.